The Confessions of a Middle-Class Queen. How one slap shattered a toxic legacy. 2 years ago, I was a career woman, independent, ambitious, earning enough to dream of my own apartment in the city skyline. But dreams come with a price. Mine was sold in an emotional auction where my father's trembling hands and helpless eyes signed me into a marriage I was never ready for. My son is a gem, the groom's mother had declared, her smile razor-thin. But dowry is tradition. You wouldn't want to start off on a bad note, would you? Bad note? The entire melody was off-key. Nova, my husband, is a gentleman, sweet, but spineless. His mother, Marten, is a storm in human form. A woman who could curdle milk with a glare and reduce her own family to trembling servants. Dear, are you barren or just lazy? She spat those words one morning, slamming the bathroom door so hard the mirror cracked. Much like my patience. Annie, enough. My father-in-law muttered, his voice barely a whisper. Nova, silent. Always silent. Days blurred into venomous insults whispered like lullabies. Dresses, accidentally, stained. Utensils slammed to punctuate every insult. But the confessions I am about to reveal were not born from her words. They ignited from my silence, turned into fire. It was a Tuesday evening, the kind where survival means becoming invisible. Dinner was simple sushi, ordinary, but destiny had seasoned that evening with rebellion. Dear, Marten announced, sniffing her plate like it was poison. Did you lose your sense of taste when you sold yourself into this family? This sushi is as bland as your existence, you untalented bitch. The room froze. Nova's spoon halted midair. My father-in-law stared at his plate, silently wishing it would swallow him whole. But I had already stood up. The chair scraped back with a screech that echoed like war drums. I walked around the table, every step syncing with my heartbeat. Then, without a word, I slapped her. A perfect five-fingered revolution. The room did not breathe. Neither did she. Nova looked at me, not with fear, but with respect. My father-in-law smiled. A proud, weary smile that whispered, finally. I sat back down, picked up my food, took a bite. Maybe the salt's in my palm now. Mom, would you like another taste? That slap was not just across her cheek. It was across generations of inherited tyranny. Slowly, the house began to change. The very next morning, my father-in-law brought me tea in bed. Dear Queen, he chuckled. It's about time the real queen took her throne. Nova began planning vacations. Places I had only seen in dreams now became destinations in our photo albums. And Marten? She transformed into the sweetest old lady anyone could imagine. Sugar in her words, honey in her tone. That slap was not an act of rebellion. It was a language she finally understood. Today, as I sip tea served by the very hands that once pointed accusing fingers, I realize respect is never given. It is extracted, like diamonds from coal, through fire and grit. These are confessions that should not be whispered in fear. They should be declared from rooftops. I did not marry into a family. I married into a battlefield. But queens are not made in parlors. They are forged in wars they never wanted but had to win. So here I am, the queen of this house. Not because they gave me a crown, but because I claimed it. Respect is not requested, it is commanded.